Good afternoon. This is Cynthia Watke. Do you know that Benjamin Franklin said, supposedly one day, some people die at 25 and aren't buried until they're 75? Can you imagine saying something like that? Some people die at 25 but aren't buried until they're 75? What in the world could that mean, to die at 25 but continue to live and your body not be buried until 75, much later in life? Do you think that means that your body was kept in cold storage for 50 years? I don't think so. I doubt it. On the other hand, you may actually know someone who seems to be more dead than alive. And we're going to talk about Zest for Life today. This is Cynthia Watke, life transformation coach and transformative healer with Careiance. Have you known some people who just seem to be blah all the time? You say to them, "Good morning, how are you doing today?" And they're like, well, everything's okay, or I'm all right, or okay. Perhaps you know people in your social circles or in your family who talk like this. Maybe there are people around you every day who seem to have no zest for life. But why is that? Maybe we could look at our family tree. I have considered that at times. Different people in my family over the years that I've spent time around seem to have no real zest for life, but others had an incredible excitement and energy about life. And I've thought, what is the difference? Why do some people have a very high level of zest for life? They're excited about the new things that are happening in their lives. They're energized. They are positive. And others just seem to go along with the monotony and with a somewhat sour and dour attitude. Their responses never really change. If you say, "How you doing?" they'll say, "Oh, I'm okay." Or, "Same old, same old." And the attitude there is that actually nothing has changed, that there's nothing that excites them, nothing that gives them joy. Well, we don't have to walk far in life to find people who are on these two ends of the spectrum. We see people every day who seem to be lethargic, down, despair, just kind of discouraged. And we see other people who are upbeat, who are excited, who are energized about life, who have some plans and purpose about them. Have you ever taken a coffee break with a colleague, and every time you sit down with them, the same conversation is repeated, the same stories of what's going on in their life, the same very surface level discussion? In fact, at times, just word for word. When we have a short lunch break with a colleague, or perhaps we meet after work for drinks, as some people do on Fridays, the same conversations get repeated. They may be about politics. They may be about someone's attitude about someone that they work for or work with. They may be downing their spouse or complaining about some other family member, but the same issues just keep coming up and coming up. Now, of course, some of these issues may truly have some validity, but the regurgitation and the discussion of them over and over the same way is not very productive. The real truth of the matter is that complaining and repeatedly complaining about the same thing never leads to any action. Having a bad attitude or a sour spirit does not lead to any kind of energy or excitement in life. So, how can we generate more excitement in our life? Before we go into that, I want to tell you that a zest for life means that we live each day with energy and excitement. We take action and we change things without complaining. We look on the positive side of life rather than the negative side of life, and we move forward despite the challenges and the obstacles that we may encounter. When we have a zest for life, we find that our life is happier. There's more joy, there's more contentment, and more gratitude. G. Mark Phillips said, "We can all be more than we are. Life is the process of improving ourselves." Today is life. The moment we have right now is life, and it's the only life that we are truly sure of. So we need to make the most of today and get interested in something that will raise our energy level, that will give us some excitement. We need to get interested in something that will help us just shake off the lethargy and the normalcy of being kind of down in the dumps. We need to perhaps develop a hobby and along the way change our mindset. So, how can we recover or rediscover a zest for life? For 2020, I'd like to suggest that a great way to change our lives for the next decade is to set out to do some sort of micro adventure at least once a month. Something that will break up the routine, break up the usual routines that we have, and perhaps something that will actually introduce a level of discomfort or risk, something that would help us see the world differently. This micro adventure does not have to be anything big or dangerous or even far from home. It may not take even any money, but it surely will take some creativity and energy. Every now and then, we need to go out and interrupt these patterns of normalcy that we have so that we can stir things up a little bit and find some energy and some excitement about the future. A micro adventure can be something as simple as taking a train ride if you've never taken a train anywhere, or something that's short, simple, even cheap, even local, but something that's fun, something that's exciting, something that's a little risk-taking. Perhaps you take a train ride to another town, explore the town for a few hours, and take the train ride back. Or take a road trip on a Sunday afternoon and go and check out some nearby towns and what they have to offer. Perhaps after work, go out in the evening when it's a clear, beautiful evening and do some stargazing. Watch for some comets. Get yourself a telescope and study the sky. Or maybe in the morning you get up early and go out on your back porch to listen to the birds and watch the sunrise come up. We get into such routines every day that we do the same thing by rote. In a half asleep manner, we get up, we brush our teeth, we get ready for the day, we sit down and have a cup of coffee, we put on our clothes, we head out the door to go to work, and we don't think about doing anything that might just stir it up a little bit. Doing a micro adventure, even something so small as to put on some really happy jazz music in the morning, if you like that, and move your body around a little bit to the music while you're making your coffee, even something that small can bring a zest for life. When we seek out a strange or what seems exotic adventure to us, something that's just perhaps just outside our door, we disrupt our expectations. We put ourselves a little bit off balance and regain our equilibrium. By deliberately inserting ourselves into situations that we've never been experienced before, where the rules perhaps are not real clear, where we may lack what we think we need, we will discover and rediscover who we truly are. We will find an energy center. We'll find an excitement within our being that can give us some new impetus, some new direction, some new power to go on in life. With zest for life, that wholehearted way of living, we can develop a robust connection to other people, a robust connection to our own spirits and to the hearts and spirits of those around us. and we may find a much deeper satisfaction with life. Have you ever watched your young children or young grandchildren, how they play with such abandon? They create imaginary stories, imaginary happenings. I have twins who are now 37, a girl and boy, but when they were little, 2 years old, 2.5 years old, they loved to play church. Now, of course, they sometimes saw their great grandfather preach, and they understood what happens in a church. And my son would be the preacher, and he would get up on some steps and he would talk and carry on. And sometimes you couldn't understand him at all, and he would wave his arms, and my daughter would sing and hand out the hymnals and line up all the people, which were their stuffed animals, on the little chairs. They got into it, and with abandon, they played this game from time to time. It was an exciting imaginary adventure for them. I've often watched children in Walmart and Target and other stores who are slipping away from their mothers and laughing and chasing each other around, and the parents are getting so upset with them and trying to get them to quiet down and to stay by them and be in the cart. And yet these children have this exuberance. They look at the toys, they look at the things in the aisle, they run to see something else. And that excitement about life, just being out of the house, going on a trip to the store, just gives them immense energy. Opportunities that we find to play, opportunities that we create as micro adventures to bring some awe into our lives, to bring some new energy and excitement about life. Be there visual, auditory, something new we taste or touch, something new that we smell, a new experience that's cultural. All of these new types of micro adventures can press in on us and help us to open up our gaze to what is out there in life, to have an open heart, to be more excited about what's happening in our life and have more energy and more commitment to create a life of hope, a life of purpose, a life with zest. Perhaps we're called to bear witness of a beautiful sunrise on an ocean. Perhaps you love going to the beach or to the mountains as I do. Take a micro adventure this winter or early next spring. Find a micro adventure right in your backyard that you can do once a month. Put that in your schedule. Challenge your family, your spouse, your significant other to go on a micro adventure with you. And you will see that your zest for life, your excitement for life will be stronger and more powerful, and you will be more of who you are. Again, this is Cynthia Watke, life transformation coach and transformative healer of Careiance. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to your comments, and please do not fail to contact me if there's any way that I can be of help and support to you. I offer a free discovery call. I offer a free virtual coffee on Zoom or in person. So please take advantage of that and do not fail to give yourself some zest for life today. Thank you so much.